Hi, and thanks for joining us. As you know, the LA fires are still continuing to rage across Southern California, and they're leaving an impact not just on us physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Today, I'm being joined by Ashinee Reynolds, a marriage and family life therapist, life coach. The list goes on and on. Thank you so much for being with us, Ash.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
And tell us, how are you impacted by the fires? Are you okay? Your home okay?
Yeah, I am okay. Thankfully, we had a minor scare of having to evacuate, but now we're back home and everything's safe. So
Excellent. And I know
Yeah.
that you're meeting with people and providing care almost constantly. Thank you so much for being able to pour into us. You know, the fires have caused many of us, even if we haven't experienced physical loss, to really just focus on some or experience some feelings that we haven't felt and some uncertainties. Are there any practical ways that you can share with us about how to manage these feelings?
yeah, I would say one way is to be intentional to talk about them with loved ones, with friends, but maybe you're feeling really sad about what's going on. Some people feel confused or depressed or anxious, but maybe just finding time and space to really open up about that with someone that you love and trust could be very helpful.
So sometimes we tend to kind of internalize things, or we're watching TV and keeping up
Scrolling.
with the scrolling,
Yeah.
doom scrolling, but and sometimes we forget to enunciate. Do we sometimes feel like our community and our partners know how we feel, but they actually don't, right?
Right. There is a lot to being intentional. It's kind of like we can't expect people to know what we're thinking or feeling if we're not vulnerable a little bit and have the willingness to share what we're going through. Because sometimes people they simply don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as we're dealing with difficult things and stress and uncertainty, it's easy to just kind of bottle things up. So talking to someone is the first thing. Is there another thing that we can do?
Yeah, I would say deep breathing, and maybe we could try that. But sometimes we just need to ground ourselves. Like we could be in a very anxious state. Maybe, someone was just evacuated or they went to visit their home that's not existent anymore. If they found out about a loss, the aspects could go on and on and on of things that happen. So in real time, that's something that you could do. And there's a method. It's just taking 4 seconds to inhale. You'll hold.
Okay, so
You want
can
to
I
try it?
Yeah, I'd love to try it. Okay,
Okay,
all right.
let's do it.
So-
So you're feeling overwhelmed and you say, you know what? I just need to calm my central nervous system. You might not really say that, but like thoughts are racing. So I'm just going to count to 4. You're going to take a deep breath in for 4 counts. You're going to hold it for 4 counts.
Okay.
And then you'll exhale.
For
All right,
4
are we
counts.
ready?
Okay, yes.
Let's try it and let's see how you feel
All right.
after. Okay, ready? Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And big exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow. Yeah, that's easy, but at the same time, the just going through it, the intentionality.
Yeah.
Somehow, like in the counting, I was just focused on that and not all the other things swirling around my head. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's
is that the kind of the point?
yes, exactly.
Right.
It's almost like a grounding and thought stopping technique. If you're overwhelmed and feeling like, oh my gosh, I have this, I have that, what do I do? It's a
And
way
we're
to
tense,
just
like I carry it in my shoulders, so like breathing can really, really help.
absolutely. And if you go through the same thing that you did 3 to 5 times, it could be very, very effective, and it doesn't take that long.
Right,
So that's
right.
something that you could do is just take a few deep intentional breaths.
Good, helpful reminder. So the first
Yes.
one is to talk to somebody. The second one is to think about your breathing and to just take a moment away from it all and to just breathe in and hold it and breathe out. Any other ways that we can manage?
Yes, I would say take care of yourself through self-compassion. So if you feel guilty about maybe you didn't do something or there was more that you could have done, like have some self-compassion. Like we're human. A lot of us are trying our best, and and that just kind of could alleviate some stress for someone. So yeah.
Self-compassion, do you find that people tend to be really hard on themselves, especially during a crisis?
Oh, absolutely. If I could name the amount of, I call it shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm sure you've heard that, but like people who say, I should have done this. I've heard this the other day. A woman was telling me, if only my trunk was cleaned out, I could have put a lot more things in there, et cetera, et cetera. So don't have self-compassion. Like, thank God that we're here, you know? So having self-compassion, things that you would have done, things that you could have done, you know, that's in the past. Like, let's look forward and be positive and do what we could do here
I know
and now.
that when my wife and I were packing up things, we had to kind of evacuate just for a couple of days and come back. The whole time I was thinking, oh, I wish I should have brought this. I wish I could have done that. Why didn't I clean out the gutters in our house? Like, there's all these like negative thoughts, but those are actually not too helpful, are they?
No, it's actually just one more thing we're kind of putting in our mental, like in our brains, about things that we could have done that it's gone. It's in the past. So just having the self-compassion to say, you know, maybe I would have done that, but it's okay. I'm here. I'm with my family. This is how I could move forward. So really, self-compassion is a huge, huge part. And it's so important because guilt could create stagnance. Like, it's not helpful in any way, the guilt and shame of something. So
yeah,
self-compassion is a big one.
And I know that sometimes gratitude gets kind of thrown out, and people are wondering, you know, feeling guilty that they have a home when others don't, and they have family when others don't. But as it relates to self-compassion, what about practicing gratitude? Is that kind of a component that's helpful?
Yes, I'm actually so glad you brought that up, because I would almost say that's one of the best things to do. It's almost focusing on something that's good, right? And not acknowledging, I call it a win, or just something you're thankful for. And that kind of resets and reframes whatever the traumatic situation of, that happened. And also, thank God I have this. Thank God my loved one is here. And, you know, we did get out safely, and the gutters are still there.
Yeah, that's right.
So really, I love the gratitude component, because it really reframes our thought process, which could have an impact on how we're seeing other things, so to speak.
So there you have it. And MFT is affirming us that we can be grateful even while acknowledging tremendous loss that so many loved ones are experiencing.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ash, for joining us. Is there a way that our listeners can contact or follow up on some of these practices?
Yes, of course. If people need extra support or they want more information on some of the practices, visit us at moderndaywellness.org.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.